Tired of doom scrolling? Time for a dose of awesome. 5 Good News Stories is your happy place, where underdogs become champions, crossing guards become legends, and impossible dreams come true. We're serving up 5 fresh reasons to believe in humanity. From world records to cute animal stories to that guy who turned his pizza shop into a homeless shelter. These are the stories that'll make you go, wait, what? That's amazing! Ready for your good news fix? Follow 5 Good News Stories wherever you get your podcasts, because let's face it, we could all use more awesome in our lives. The number 5 Good News Stories.
It is the world's most secretive election. When a pope dies, ancient traditions begin. A silver hammer, a destroyed ring, over 100 cardinals locked away from the world, choosing the next leader of 1 billion faithful. White Smoke, the path to a new pope, from Calaroga Shark Media, wherever you get your podcasts.
Calaroga Shark Media.
Hi-ho, I'm Johnny Mac with your daily comedy news. John Mulaney's talk show is live tonight, but I'm going to talk about that in a second. I think there's an even bigger story. Netflix has announced a relationship with Tony Hinchcliffe. They've ordered 3 Kill Tony comedy specials, as well as a new stand-up comedy special from Tony. First Kill Tony Netflix will tape at the Comedy Mothership in Austin, Texas, and stream on Netflix April 7th. In a statement, Tony Hinchcliffe said, "Myself and our entire crew of Austin comedians, peers, and upcomers are excited for the opportunity to share our chaotic, insane show with a whole new chunk of the globe. It all started in a room in the Comedy Store with 12 audience members and barely anyone watching in 2013. After world tours and 700-plus Monday releases on YouTube, it seems the persistence has paid off, and now to think that I can pull a name out of a bucket and that person will be performing stand-up and an improvised interview on the largest streaming service in the world is both exciting and frightening. It's the most spontaneous and improvised show that's out there, and the great freedom given to us by Netflix to keep the show in its pure form is a comedian's dream. And we can't wait to Netflix and kill." I see what you did there, Tony Hinchcliffe. That's really exciting. Both as a comedy fan and a podcaster, just to see something go from like an idea. And now this is, and it's a loaded word, but I use it on purpose, establishment Kill Tony. This is it. Tony, you're no longer an outsider. This is no longer some little show where we're just doing our thing. You are now establishment Kill Tony. And I'm not saying that's bad. I will do establishment daily comedy news. Netflix, write me a check. I'll be there. I'll even wear a tie. But I'm very happy for Tony and the gang. What a great show, Kill Tony, if you've never checked it out. Okay, John Mulaney. Netflix crushing it. John Mulaney tonight. Sorry, that awkward pause there was, are we having an earthquake? I can't tell if it was that or if my boiler was super loud. Anyway, by the time you hear this, you'll know if there was an earthquake yesterday. I'm leaving that in. Where was I? Boy, that was distracting. John Mulaney. He's live on Netflix tonight, 10 East, 7 West. John is making the press. He was on CBS Good Morning. It seems like once you make the establishment, I'll keep using that word today, you go on CBS This Morning. Is there a big overlap with stand-up comedy and CBS This Morning? Or is somebody over there who books the show just into it? It just seems like, hey, John Mulaney wants to get the word out. I'll go on CBS This Morning. Just seemed like a disconnect to me. Maybe Gaffigan put a bug in his ear. Who knows? I pulled a few clips. Note how slowly and thoughtful Mulaney is speaking in these clips. In this first clip, he talks about his early career.
Yeah, there were some early times where it wasn't so much that the audience wasn't with me. I didn't know what I was putting out there. You know, you grow up watching a ton of comedy. And I'm sick, but I'm not contagious, by the way, for all your viewers. You grow up watching comedy, and there were so many styles I liked and so many comedians I liked, from like early radio to Chris Rock, The Simpsons, Conan, everything. So I just had no sense of what I even wanted to do myself, except that I wanted to be on stage doing stand-up. But I didn't know if that meant George Carlin or Stephen Wright or George Wallace or what. So I remember kind of trying out ways of being, and many of those falling flat. I'd say, not to be corny, but I'm still figuring that out. It's a very kind of obvious lesson. You just kind of presenting some heightened version of your most authentic self is what works. And your most authentic self might be like strange, cryptic one-liners. Like, it's not like you have to be confessional or anecdotal about your life in order to be authentic.
Next up, some of John's influences, interesting choices here, and a little bit about his look. We'll talk about more about his look in a second.
I really like people like Spalding Gray. I really like Gene Shepard. I really like storytellers, and George Carlin had a lot of that too, like his Irish Catholic boyhood and stuff. Like storytellers who get into interesting personal details that are singular to them. They're not saying to the audience, this is your life. They're saying, like, this is my life. And when presented in a certain candid way, it's so disarming, people really see their own lives in it. I liked that a lot. But I also liked Bernie Mac and Def Jam and big personality comedians and really forceful performers like Paul F. Tompkins, who wears like three-piece suits and is still telling personal stories that way. So I wanted the presentation of a Def Jam comic with sort of the nuanced personal stuff of a Spalding Gray.
And one more time, here's John Mulaney talking about where the suits came from.
I did a show at the Laughing Skull in Atlanta, really fun club there. And I was wearing a checkered button-down shirt and jeans, and there were 5 opening comics because there's a great local scene there. So 5 people were on the show before me. They all wore the same thing as me, a checkered shirt and button-down jeans. Everyone in the audience was dressed like that. And I remember thinking, I'm 27. There's no reason I should have the microphone except that in this, con job of entertainment, I'm declaring that I'm the headliner. And I thought, I'd like to look like the headliner. And I'd like to look like the entertainer for the night. So no matter where you're going, you've gotten a sitter, you've paid the cover charge, you've gotten your dog crated and medicated, whatever you need to do to go out for the night. And as silly as it may be, and as sort of maybe corny as it may seem in 2011, like, I'm going to wear a suit because I'm the entertainer for the night. And also, it's a bit like I have to take charge of the room. Nothing I'm saying is important, so I have to act like it is.
Mulaney told CBS he likes doing the show live because I feel like there's more at stake. I love it. It's the best. The host asked, is it a feeling like coming against a cliff and dangling over it? And Mulaney said, no, it's dangling over it all the time. It's a fun feeling to know that hopefully a lot of people are watching, and it's live globally with no delays, and you could really damage your career. That's funny. John and the CBS crew went shopping to Amoeba Music in Hollywood and was asked, when you come to a place like this, do people leave you alone? Mulaney said, a little bit. My joke is that I'm like Louis Farrakhan. I mean a lot to a small group of people. The topic of John's sobriety came up, and does he think about it every day? Mulaney said, well, that's a good question. I don't think about cocaine, opioids, and some big word, benzodiazepine. Every day, I'll acknowledge that I understand the vigilance I need. I don't think about it every day. I just don't. I do think about the ways I can lead my life to perhaps never feel the kind of strain that got me there. So yeah, sobriety maybe being like a bigger term than just abstaining from the chemicals. I definitely think about that every day. John joked about the division of labor in the house. He said, my wife and I just welcomed a baby girl into our family. My wife takes care of the 5-week-old, and I take the 2-year-old. That's not an equal distribution of labor at all. Saying, you have a 5-week-old, I'll take a 2-year-old. That's like saying, I'll transport this convict across state lines, you hold a potato. Cool move by Josh Johnson. This from NJ.com. Josh noticed a trend during ticket sales for his comedy tour. Resellers were buying up tickets and inflating the cost, forcing fans to have to pay big-time prices to go to a show. He didn't like that, so he decided to do something about it. He said, today I refunded over 900 tickets to one show. A venue contacted me and told me the day they went on sale that they believe a lot of blocks of tickets were sold to resellers. One of the things that really bothers me on this tour is all of you trying to buy tickets and finding out they're sold out and the resale price is astronomical. Please don't pay more than the intended price of these shows. I would rather have empty seats than any of you pay a lot more for tickets. I'm trying to add in as many shows as I can, and we'll come back to your city soon enough. Thank you for being patient with me as I figure this whole thing out. He included a screenshot from StubHub showing a $149 ticket that was brought back down to $59.50 after being relisted for the original price on Ticketmaster. Josh said all these tickets in Newark that were sold to resellers are now available again, so friends can purchase them at the intended price. The intended prices range from $39.50 to $59.50. Josh advised fans to join waitlists at joshjohnsоncomedy.com to be notified when he adds more shows, and said, thank you for all being patient with me as I figure this all out. That is awesome. Great job out of him. A lot of buzz on him. He's putting out a lot of material. Keep an eye on Josh Johnson. Boston.com reported that Taylor Tomlinson noted how young her crowd was. Taylor is 31 now. She noticed some of the audience members were kids and shared a video of the exchange on Facebook and wrote in the caption, apparently my matinee show in Boston was a middle school field trip. Tomlinson said to an audience member, you don't know about Noah's Ark? Oh my God, are you serious? You're 12. Oh, F, you're 12? What are you doing here? You should not see my stuff before Noah's Ark. Are you here with a parent? This is your mom? Oh my God, you have the coolest mom alive. I've only had like a few 12-year-olds ever see me live, and every time I got to go back to church. Got to clean it up. This isn't good. A voice from the crowd yells, I'm 11. Taylor, you're 11? F. If there's a 10-year-old here, I'm walking off. 11? You shouldn't be here. You should be at home waiting for your Hogwarts letter. What the F? Another person yelled out, I'm 13. Taylor said, 13's fine. You should know how the world works. I'm not doing any more afternoon shows. I didn't know y'all were going to treat it like daycare. I thought this was a fun, sexy brunch crowd. I didn't know we were coming here instead of the park. Hilarious. Chelsea Handler down in Austin let us know that she isn't going to have sex with Elon Musk. She asked the crowd, did anyone vote for Elon Musk to be the president? Can't we come together, Republicans and Democrats, and say we don't want that? Can't we agree on that at least? You know, the first Trump presidency, for instance, I let it take me down. I let it steal my joy, and I'm not going to do that again. It's the power of being optimistic in the dark and not going down a wormhole. Then the host asked Chelsea, would she date Elon Musk and try to persuade him away from the dark side? You know, Chelsea Handler once dated Joe Coy, who hosted the Golden Globes, and told just a horrible, mean joke about Taylor Swift. But I'm not going there today, Scott Beckett. Relax. I got the bid in over the weekend. I don't need to do it again. Chelsea said, there's a lot I would do for the country, but having sex with Elon Musk is not one of them. I can't. I like a variety of men. I like men in my life. I'm not a settle down kind of girl. Apparently, Leslie Jones had an awesome time at AEW Wrestling. She was at Revolution 2025, which was live streamed on Amazon. Fans noticed how enthusiastic Leslie was. One wrestling fan observed on social media, hate to be the one that paid $500 to be sitting behind her. Another wrote, dude, I was on the other side of the arena and up the stairs and could still hear her screaming. That woman was thirsty. A Leslie Jones fan said, she's perfect for wrestling. I hope she's enjoying herself. Folks in Houston who went to see Matt Rife over the weekend got a surprise opener. Amer showed up, so did Paul Wall. Mo did a short set. Paul Wall did a short rendition of the hit song Grills. Did you watch Deli Boys on Hulu yet? I powered through that. That is massively entertaining. High recommend from me. They did some fun marketing for it ahead of the release. They drove around with a Deli Boys food truck. Well, not the people in the show, the marketing people. Joe Ortiz is SVP of marketing at Onyx Collective, and he said in a statement, Deli Boys is truly anything but expected. And our campaign had to follow suit. We created a bold, in-your-face campaign that was disruptive and above all fun. They did a block party with a branded storefront in New York with free chai and appearances from the cast. Meanwhile, LA bagel shop Yeasty Boys, love that, had a Deli Boys food truck with show-themed bagels. If you're on Sunset Boulevard, you'll see a 40-foot billboard. And if you're in New York City over by Penn Station, you'll see a 3D billboard. It is a good show. I hope people check it out. The Traveling Deli was in New York at Union Square on February 26th. It stopped off at South by over the weekend. It'll be in Chicago on the 16th for the St. Patrick's Day River Dyeing Festival. Ortiz said, the campaign was designed to mix crime, comedy, and culture in a way never seen before. What a great quote. It allowed for bold creative, grounded in cultural relevance that endeared audiences broadly and represents community authentically. Mulaney tonight, 10 East, 7 West. See you tomorrow.
If you're fascinated by UFOs, aliens, ghosts, demons, cryptid creatures like Bigfoot, Chupacabra, and Mothman, then I have the show for you. The Paranormal 60 with Dave Schrader. Each week, we investigate different claims of the supernatural and try to shed light into the darkness, bringing you the top guests and experts from around the world. enter the fray. Then join me, Dave Schrader, your host, as we investigate all aspects and claims of the supernatural and paranormal. Listen on all of your favorite podcast platforms: Good Pods, TuneIn, Pocket Casts, Deezer, Player FM, Amazon Music, Audible, Podcast Addict, Podchaser, Google Podcasts, CastBox, Spotify, iHeartRadio, and Apple Podcasts. The answers to life's biggest questions and miracles and mysteries awaits you. So join me each week, 2 brand new episodes of the best in paranormal podcasting, The Paranormal 60 with Dave Schrader.